naval invasion launched on the beaches of Normandy, France, then occupied by Nazi Germany. D-Day would turn the tide of World War II and help lead to an Allied victory in Europe. There aren't many survivors of that invasion still around today, but there are some. And News 12's Andrew Enger was there at a ceremony honoring some of the Long Island veterans.
78 years ago today, U.S. Army Sergeant David George from St. James had no idea what awaited him on Omaha Beach in Normandy, France.
We landed on the beach first day.
He was one of 150,000 Allied troops who participated in D-Day. Today, he and other Suffolk County residents who fought in World War II were honored for their service and sacrifice to the country.
If we forget what they did and all of those who've served in the wars before and since this nation, if we forget that, then we will lose the country we have.
Suffolk County Executive Steve Bellone and other dignitaries then raised a flag that flew over the beaches of Normandy on the 75th anniversary of D-Day in Armed Forces Plaza in Hauppauge. Sergeant George, who is now 100 years old, was also presented with the Jubilee of Liberty Medal from the French government. It's given only to those servicemen who fought on the beaches of Normandy and survived.
I made buddies while I was in the service, and I lost them as we fought. Thank God I lived through it.
As our greatest generation begins to dwindle, fewer and fewer World War II veterans can attend ceremonies like these or even visit the beaches of Normandy again. Sergeant George tells me he was glad to be here today, but doesn't want to go back to Normandy. That, he says, would be just too emotional.
I don't want to go.
Too many memories.
It would bring out things.
Sergeant George says even though he was wounded later in combat, he was one of the lucky ones and was glad he was able to serve his country. In Hauppauge, Andrew Enger, News 12, Long Island.
Amazing, right? Suffolk County officials say they plan to fly that special flag that spent time in France every year on June 6 to honor all of those who fought in World War II.